the gates with a rather intriguing bit of news. Texas running back Bijan Robinson posted a picture on his Instagram story showing that he is in Philadelphia, geotag and all. It was confirmed that Robinson is here for a top 30 visit with the Eagles ahead of the draft. The Birds get to bring in 30 players for visits. Robinson is one of them. On that note, welcome to Birds Huddle, powered by PointsBet, along with the one, the only, the double B, Barrett Brooks. I'm Taryn Hatcher. Barrett, nothing like, and we've got quite a bit of this today, nothing like a little social media post to mix it up, to get the people going early on in the week here.
No question, so it just puts all those, the interest as far as the running back situation here in Philadelphia. When Bijan is in town, he's making sure everybody knows I'm in town. I'm your boy if you want to draft me. So that's good that he did that.
Well, on that note, let's take a closer look at Mr. Robinson. It's the Bird's Eye View presented by Bush Auto Group. So Robinson is a junior who was a 3-year starter at Texas. Last season, he had nearly 1,900 total yards from scrimmage and 20 total touchdowns. Last month at the Combine, he ran a 4.46 in the 40-yard dash and had a 37-inch vertical jump. And that brings us to Barrett's three-point stance. Bijan Robinson would be worth it for the Eagles. They have the 10th pick and the 30th pick in the first round. We know the history. Birds they don't draft running backs. But you say, with this kid, maybe they should. If you watch his highlight reel, he can do a lot of many varied things here.
No question. When you think about this Eagles offense, it's a run-oriented offense. Yes, we like to pass the ball a lot, but at the end of the day, it's Jalen Hurts' ability to run the ball, use his legs, and have that, open up the pass on the outsides, which makes this offense so dangerous. It's like pick your poison as a defense. And with Bijan back there, he gives his offense the opportunity to really stretch defenses and make them account for the running game. When you put the 8th defender out there, now you can't cover as good on the outside. And look, we have 2,000-yard receivers. So when you add that to the equation, it's always going to make, spread the defense out so much that it makes them wrong every single time. So bringing in a guy like him, it'll be a great asset to the offensive side of the ball, but we all know offenses at this point. Used to be the defenses win championships. Offenses now win championships. You look at Big Red, he showed you. Their offense was great. Their defense was so-so. Last year, the Eagles' defense I can't say great, but it was very, very good. But the offenses really kept things going. So, I don't know. When you look at it, I can definitely see us doing that and going to the first round, but I just can't see the Eagles spending the number 10 pick. Yeah. And I don't think he makes it out of the 10th slot. I think somebody picks him up early. I know, with guys like Zeke Elliott, kind of messed up everything as far as running backs, in modern history right now. Even Saquon Barkley, both of those guys getting hurt. They're just not the assets like when I played. When I played, everybody wanted to be, everybody had Ricky Waters, Smith from Dallas, Eric Dickerson. Everybody wanted Barry Sanders. It's not like that now. Now throwing the ball is where the offense is going.
The perceived shelf life of a running back in today's NFL seems so short as well. The thing that's very interesting about Robinson, though, and I know Ray Didinger brought it up when free agency opened and we had him on the show, was that if you go find his highlights, there's quite a few where he's cutting out and making those short catches that Ray Diddy said, when you're looking at running backs in this running back core, they're going to want somebody who can do that for Jalen.
Absolutely. And when you can run those type of routes, like we're talking about little Texas route, angle routes in the middle of the field, where you have a linebacker lined up one-on-one against a running back, it's almost unfair with a guy like Bijan. You throw a little wheel route off the backfield when you have the linebacker trying to cover him in open space. Yeah. The screen game. We have gotten away from the screen game. Imagine him running the screen. We call them middle screens, where you have the slow screens, where you have the running back run the screen as opposed to the tight end or the wide receiver on the outside. He can open up that that offensive throwing the ball with the run and everything else because he's that good. He's that good of a player.
All right, we're going to move on to stance number 2. We'll see if the Eagles go for it at 10 and kind of change their tune, because I don't think you're going to be there.
Right.
Moving on to stance number 2, the Eagles are adding depth on defense today. They inked linebacker Nicholas Morrow from the Bears, and credit to our Dave Zangaro, who listed him as an option for the Eagles at linebacker. In his piece today, fortuitous timing for Dave, yesterday it was safety Justin Evans from the Saints, a couple of, let's call them cost-effective veteran pieces that should bring some stability and some depth. Barrett, it kind of seems like bodies that you need to have.
Well, we got to fill that 90-man roster, but, these two right here, they have some experience. I know Justin Evans was out for a long time, with an Achilles injury, but, you got a guy like Nicholas Morrow. He actually played for Desai. He's a guy that has a lot of reps, 46 career starts. That's a veteran presence in the middle of that defense. And given the opportunity, he's played a lot of football. He had over 100 tackles last year. Fast, quick, can play the run, but he's more so a pass defending type of linebacker, former safety. But he's shown the ability to make plays, I'm a guy that I need impact tackles. Impact tackles are tackles beyond, not beyond the 3 yards line of scrimmage. So if you can get tackles in the backfield, tackles 3 yards beyond and less, then you have impact tackles. And I think this kid can do it if given an opportunity. But then you look at, at this point, Evans. Evans is trying to resurrect his career. So he has more of an incentive to go out there and win the position, play great. I know when he was at Texas A&M, he was a baller. He's one of the hardest hitting guys, I've seen in the secondary at Texas A&M. I can vividly remember him coming up and hitting those Alabama running backs, knocking them out, so he can play this game. It's just whether he can make that transition. He started 4 games last year, but can he sustain it over, the entire season? Can he be a starter over the entire season? That's what I really need to know. If he can stay healthy, he's good enough to be a starter. He's good enough to play. Now, is he going to be one of those high, upper echelon type of players? We'll see. But he did play at a high level in college. He's been out of college for a while now. Now he's trying to resurrect his career. Maybe this is what we need, a guy that's with potential that can go out there and fulfill that potential.
This is a massive aside. He's a former second-round pick, and he essentially missed 2 full years recovering from that Achilles injury, which to me just makes Brandon Graham all the more impressive as a player.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
All right, moving on to stance number 3. Finally, Greedy Williams might have some untapped potential. The former second-round pick signed with the Birds and met with the media today. And here he is on why he chose Philadelphia.
Man, just, a lot of prayer and, great fit and, just wanting, to be somewhere where, guys compete and, win. So it's kind of fit me and who I am.
Have you had any discussion so far of what your role is going to be for this upcoming year, playing outside, inside, safety, or anything like that?
We just stayed at, meeting each other, and I think that's where it started, just building that confidence and that relationship with player and coach, and everything else, I think, will take care of itself later on.
Barrett, 2-parter here. Could we look back at this as a steal, and what does he need to do for us to look back at this signing as a steal?
We're talking about a former starter. This guy's good. Injury's the only thing that kept him from being on the field. He is a starting caliber cornerback. He was drafted in the 2nd round, but it was actually Cleveland's first pick in that draft. Remember, they had traded away that 1st-round pick to Odell Beckham Jr. So he has the potential to be very, very good. He's already shown the potential to be very, very good. I remember him, being in that defensive secondary with Denzel Ward, and he was a 1st-round pick, Jabril Peppers. These guys were good. They were one of the upper echelon secondaries in the league. Ward is a good player, and when he teamed him up with a guy like that can go out there and have the athletic talent to play the cornerback position, line up man-to-man. That's what he does best. He's a man-to-man corner. You could put him in the slot. I think he'll do well in the slot. And he's a bigger, taller corner, not big as far as in stature. He's a slim guy, but he's a taller corner, a lanky corner, and I think he can play in the slot. He's a man-to-man guy, so he'll be perfect in there. Can he move him to safety? We'll see. I don't know if we move him to safety. But like I said, I've been screaming, Avonte Maddox, put him in the safety position. You have a quality safety and a quality slot there, too. I think that can work out.
When you called him a bigger player, I was like, I
should have been taller.
I saw him in plain clothes in the Eagles post today. Slim guy.
A slim, lanky guy. You know what I'm saying? Lanky,
lean.
yeah.
How I like to describe myself. No, I'm just kidding. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson making a run for being the tweet and delete king, as if you don't just press 2 buttons and screenshot it.
Right.
His latest effort sent out this morning before quickly being deleted. Quote, Philly fans call me overrated, LOL. Y'all was just my friend. Then a couple emojis, then finishes with, quote, switch-ups. He's also deleted a tweet criticizing Jonathan Gannon and one saying the disrespect is real during contract negotiations. Barrett, that brings us to Back in My Day, presented by Carrier. Turn to the experts. How do you feel about the use of social media in this day and age, and how did things like this get handled back in your day? We talked about this with the Darius Slay. Thought he was leaving, he's coming back, the banana pudding's back, everybody's excited. We were like, that probably happens a lot. We just didn't really know about it before.
Well, you know what? I mean, I would tell you what, half the league wouldn't be in the league if they had camera phones and social media back when I played. Let's start off with that. Number two, guys like Ricky Waters, I don't know if they could have been able to be in that type of, him and Charlie Garner used to go back and forth all the time. I can only imagine some of the stuff they would fire off about each other and fire off about the team. You know, I went through for Hoover for what? With, you know, and imagine if he did that. Imagine if Ricky Waters would have said, for Hoover for what? They'd have ate him alive on social media. It'd have been over. I mean, they'd have showed him with the alligator arms like that, like every 5 minutes. So, you know, he probably couldn't have survived in those days, and I doubt seriously. But it's tough, you know, when you think about social media and how these got to deal with it. I talk to kids all the time, going to high schools and junior highs, tell them, hey, once you hit send, it's privileged to 7 billion people in the world. So don't do it. Think before you do it. Evidently, there's a lot of people, including his agency, you know, CJGJ, his agency, sports agency, are just popping stuff out there on social media they're going to regret later on.
Although I do love, the one case I love is when Lamar Jackson just takes whatever the Ravens offer him and then tweets it out so that public shame can come. I think it's
shame.
I mean, he's his own agent, so I guess no one's going to stop him there.
Right.
All right, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is one of the many departures for the Eagles this offseason. Let's take a look at the ledger so far. On the left, it's who they've re-signed or brought in from other teams, headlined by Jason Kelce, Brandon Graham, and Fletcher Cox, not too shabby. As we mentioned today, they added linebacker Nicholas Morrow from the Bears, and yesterday signed safety Justin Evans. The exits, it's a lengthy list of high-quality players: Javon Hargrave, Miles Sanders, TJ Edwards, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, chief among them. In all, 10 of their free agents have signed elsewhere. That brings us to our pick-and-click poll question presented by Turnersville Auto Mall. Log on to NBCSportsPhiladelphia.com/pick-and-click to vote on this question. Are you satisfied with the Eagles offseason so far, yes or no? Barrett, if you could pick and click, which one would you pick?
I would go yes. You know, I mean, not saying that what they've done in this offseason is better than what they did last season, because this offseason just started. You know, I mean, we didn't get the majority of our big-time free agents until we went into, you know, almost going into camp. CJ, remember, we got, you know, A.J. Brown during the draft. Then you look at, you know, towards the end, we just got James Bradbury towards the end going into the camp anyways.
Yeah,
so, no, I mean, come on now. You got to say that, you know, they still have time, but I'm still proud of what they've done. I like what they've done. Absolutely, I like, because they did nothing at this point except for sign Hassan Reddick at this point last year. There was next to nothing. We were screaming like, what are we going to do? All the good free agents are gone. Well, now we're spending money. Now everybody's complaining about that. Come on now. They've done a great job, hence, you know, going into this offseason.
And we all knew it was going to be daunting, and it was going to be nearly impossible for everyone to be happy. And draft night magic can still happen. Is there one thing that you wish maybe had been handled differently, or one decision where maybe you would have gone a different direction?
I mean, there's two. Of course, I would have wanted to sign CJGJ. I mean, that goes without saying. That hadn't changed. I didn't turn against you, bro. I'm just saying you should have signed here. But now that you're not here, who cares about you? Of course we're going to turn around and say that, man. You turned against us. Your hair was green in the front. Now you're taking it out. What are you talking about? You changed up on us. You ain't got the green hair in your hair anymore. So go ahead on with that.
Jalen Mills kept his green.
Exactly. You know, so come on, man. You know, later for that. But, you know, I really think that T.J. Edwards is probably the biggest loss that we probably have right now. Either T.J. Edwards or Isaiah Malo are going to be guys we're going to miss. You know, two staples in the offense and the defense. So, yeah, those are the two guys I would say I really regret losing.
So if you could have switched, you know, they said basically they offered CJGJ, but then they got James Bradbury, and that kind of took a lot of the money that they could have allocated to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Would you have switched off that?
No, James Bradbury is undoubtedly a better signing than CJGJ. He is. I can't believe we got him. We weren't supposed to get him. So, yes, I believe in CJGJ not being here because James Bradbury, I'm good with that.
There you have it.